So for our first video, we have gotten a lot of questions from all of you about the new housing lottery. And we're here to give you some information on that today. First of all, the lottery does not mean you win a free house. Sorry to burst that bubble. But we're going to fill you in on all the details of what it does mean.
Right. The program is called Mecher Lemishtaken. You've probably heard about it in news outlets and Facebook posts and the local paper. There's a certain amount of criteria necessary to be eligible, and we're going to give you all the information you need to know if you qualify.
So there's a link below, and the thing is, the registration for the first round of the lottery actually closed already and will reopen only on May 8th. So from May 8th, you can follow that link and go through the registration for a Tudat Zakaut, which means a certificate of eligibility. So who qualifies for this program?
Okay, so the first, who qualifies? If you haven't owned an apartment for the last 3 years or a part of an apartment, then you can sign up. If you haven't rented through Demei Meftech in the last 3 years, for those of you who don't know what Demei Meftech is, it means it doesn't apply, so you don't have to worry about that. Anyone who isn't eligible for a unit on a moshav or a yishuv, usually that's through your parents or a family member that lives on a moshav or yishuv, then you get to apply to live there as well. So if you don't qualify for that, then you are eligible.
If you don't have a home that's being built, so like sometimes you can purchase an apartment in a project and you own it on paper, but it doesn't really exist fully yet. So if that's not your situation, then you're also good. Or if you don't own more than 1/3 of a tract of land with a residential building rights, and you're not part of an organized building group.
Also known as Kutzat Rechisha.
Right, so these are groups that organize themselves in order to buy at a cheaper price through a contractor. Additionally, this program is open for married couples or official domestic partners. So if you're registered with Bituach Leumi as Yiduim B'Tzibor, known to the community as a partnership, as a single household. Otherwise, you can be single, which can mean also divorced or widowed, over the age of 35, or you're a parent of at least one child under age 21, divorced parents under 35 who have children that are not in their custody, and engaged couples less than 3 months before the wedding. Also, if you're disabled and age 21 or over, there are different categories needing either a 50% or 75% disability. If you're still here with us and these things apply to you, congratulations, you can apply for this program. So there's a project coming up here in Sfat that has just opened for the first lottery, and there are said to be future rounds available as well.
Yeah, there are about 4 projects that are going to be built in Sfat, which is not typical. Usually there's 1 project per city, maybe 2. So I think that that's a great incentive for anybody who qualifies. All these projects are going to be built in Mitzpeh Yamim, which is the new neighborhood being built right past Menachem Begin in the northern part of the northern entrance of Tzfat. Whoever signs up and lives in Tzfat has first priority to win this raffle as a Tzfat resident and native. So if you could sign up for any city that actually is taking part in this lottery. But if you are not a resident of that city, your chances of winning are much lower.
So for the 4 projects in Sfat, they each have 70 to 100 units of apartments within the project. Half of those are set aside for the lottery, and half of those are set aside for Bnei Makom, meaning people who live in that area.
Which means your Tudat Zeut states that you live in Sfat.
Right, so that's important to update just in case you haven't. Now, when you follow this link and you go to register starting May 8th when they open it again, the first steps are going to be just filling in information from your Tudat Zeut, checking off that you're not a robot, that you're a real person. You're going to need out your Tudat Zeut and your Israeli passport. There's certain information in the second and third steps that are going to ask you for specific dates, and information about those documents. So make sure you have those ready.
And there's a one-time fee of, I think, 270 shekels?
240 shekels.
240 shekels that you pay. That gets you eligibility for a year.
For 1 year, for any project that you apply to.
And once you sign up, then you don't have to pay that fee again.
Right. So step 4 is certifying that you are in fact eligible according to the criteria that we just described, meaning that you don't own an apartment, that you're not able to get an inheritance on a moshav or things like that. You have to complete this form for each spouse. So on step 4, when you click submit, after you've filled in the information for the first person, it's going to seem like your form just cleared and it didn't save. It did save. Now it's going to have you fill out the same information for the second partner or spouse. Step number 5 is all of your contact information, making sure that they'll be able to reach you if you are indeed a winner. And step number 6 is the hatzara, basically saying that everything that you've stated in this application is true and correct. And step number 7 is the payment. And once you fill all of this in online, you can also go into the local office instead to do it. But once you've filled it all in online, you'll get your reply by email, often within like a week.
Yes, and this is for anybody who's signing up online. Another easy way that I like to do if I can't navigate the system online is just to walk into Milgam and go through this whole process with the person working there. So you can do it in person as well.
So that's all for today. I hope you've enjoyed all of our background music too. As you can tell, we are real people with real lives doing this just because we want to be here to help you through it. So hope you enjoyed the background music today, and I hope that this information was helpful to you. We'll see you next time.
Bye.